You know, this is actually a change.
I'm not driving.
Yeah, I'm in the driver's seat. And this is a way different way to start a grocery haul. Not something you guys typically see. It is obviously starting more vlog style. And that's because we're sitting here waiting. There goes our light. That's okay. There's just enough coming in as the sun's coming up because it is not quite 7 o'clock this morning.
You could show them the sunrise.
Ooh, you know what? Let me do that really quick. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys this view while I tell you this little update here. So it's almost 7 o'clock this morning, and we are sitting outside Target waiting for them to open here in the next 5 minutes because it is the last weekend before Christmas, and we have to get groceries. We've already been to Safeway. We don't need to go to Walmart today, but we are getting everything done before crowds build up. And as you can tell, I mean, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, there's a couple other cars over there waiting. There's actually a guy that was hanging out by the front of the store.
Not me.
Not him. Another pickup sitting over there waiting. And so, yeah, so we're just sitting here enjoying the sunrise as we wait to go get groceries. And now we're going to go get them and show you guys everything we got. Okay, so we made it home. Got a lot of groceries. And guys, I have really good budget news that I am going to share with you after I show you everything we got. If you watched my meal plan video that I did last week, you'll know that we had certain things planned out, and this budget, the new budgeting system we're working on, basically it's not new, just getting a little more strict with it, is really working out well. So let me show you everything, and then I'll tell you just how well it worked out this week. Okay, we got a really healthy haul this week. So let's run through it. And excuse the mess in the background. It is holiday time. Not only can you not see the Advent or the nativity that's growing down there, but all sorts of crafting stuff. Because that's what we do, is we craft a lot. And I taught some teens how to do some glass painting last weekend. So and it's all set out because we've been working on more stuff. So anyhow, on to the food. Chicken nuggets, because those are kind of a staple for a particular 3-year-old who is deciding that he doesn't like a lot of things randomly. It's a phase. They all go through it. So it's almost becoming weekly at the rate we're going. More cheeseburgers. We were not going to get those this week, and then went ahead and did it because we had enough left over. And Sean kind of wanted to make sure we have those on hand because that's something fast and easy that's okay for him to eat. Chicken patties. This is something that our oldest son especially has discovered that he loves because he can make a sandwich out of them. He's kind of growing out of the chicken nugget phase a little bit. And then our big girls like them too, as does Sean. Cheerios. We have not bought cereal in a while because the kids have been eating so much of that blended Chef Chamois butter on toast. But Taya, our 5-year-old, actually requested Cheerios. She was a little upset when she went to have some the other day and realized that we're out. And she's kind of over the toast at the moment. So she's pretty happy right now that I got those for her. Pomegranate 7-Up. Now this was kind of a splurge. I saw it on an end cap. This stuff is just really good. We do not do soda very often in our house. But for Christmas, and the fact that this is a special flavor that only comes out this time of year, at least that's when I can find it, I went ahead and got 2 bottles of that so the kids and everybody can share. Hiding back here, the Peppermint Crunch Junior Mints. This is kind of a Christmas weakness of mine. Again, you can only get them at Christmas time. So I happened to spot them, grabbed 2 boxes at Target to put those up because I can have that little treat every here and there. Golden Double Stuffed Oreos. These are my bribery. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I bribe my little ones with cookies, and the golden ones make less mess than standard Oreos. These go right along with those Peppermint Crunch. This is dark chocolate coated marshmallow cocoa topper with peppermint. I was gifted one of these, I believe it was last year or the year before. It's just this cool little marshmallow disc. You literally just drop it in the top of a cup of hot chocolate, and it slowly melts, and it's got the peppermint bits, and it's a nice treat. They're kind of spendy, so I thought, well, just for Christmas, I'll grab those. One for me and one for Sean if he wants it. We can have those Christmas morning or something. Coming back up this way first, we have got some black raspberry jam and some raspberry jam, or red raspberry. Those are for a recipe that I'm going to be making here this weekend that I want to try, and then whatever's left over the kids will use just as regular jelly. Barbecue sauce, because we're almost out and that's a staple in our house. Applesauce. This, I only need a couple of cups. It's actually for the stuffing that I make. I make homemade stuffing for Christmas. And we couldn't find them at first, so we almost bought the big flat of applesauce cups. I thought, well, that way the kids can eat them. Well, then we came around a corner and we found those, and it was $3 cheaper. So even though the kids eat the jars a little slower than they do the individual snack cups, it was $3, guys, and you got to save money everywhere you can when it comes to budgeting. Caesar dressing, something I thought about waiting until next week, but again, I know I'm about out. I like having it, and we had the extra, so that works. Fresh parsley, that is to go in the stuffing as well. Romaine hearts, because we are having a non-traditional Christmas meal that involves cheeseburgers, and we will use the leaves, the lettuce. We couldn't find any good heads of lettuce, so romaine hearts it was. The organic bananas, grabbed those at Target. Their rack was plumb full, and they all looked pretty darn good, but like these ones are perfect yellow. They will need to be eaten pretty quickly. The tomatoes, oh, I got a 3-year-old who's hanging out he saw the bananas. The tomatoes, those are to go for burgers as well as just recipes around here. Grapes, because that 3-year-old is very much in a grape phase right now. So we're eating fewer apples, far more grapes. Of course, now that we can't find all the fun flavors of grapes, he's going through even more of them. But, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Almond milk, because we go through that, especially with Teo wanting more cereal. And then I use it my coffee, and I've been drinking a little bit more coffee again lately. So we're going through the almond milk. No regular milk this week. We'll probably get that next week, only because the one in the fridge is going to start to turn sour. And yeah, it's not because we've gone through it. And like I've said before, we just don't go through milk. The snack pack, we are pretty much completely out. I think there's like 3 packs of crackers left in the drawer. We keep a snack drawer in the kitchen for the little kids. When it's snack time, they know that they can go pick their own and get what they want. They all zoom in for the chocolate teddy bears first, and then they go for the superhero grams. So that works. Chex Mix, that's something a couple of the kids decided yesterday that sounded good again. It works. I wasn't buying any other chips this week, and yeah, so it was just a good time to get it. The orange juice is actually for that same stuffing recipe. You're going to see that running theme here. It's kind of an involved, but a really good homemade stuffing recipe that just turns out really well. The Power C gummy vitamin C's, that's something that all of our kids take. And any extra vitamin C, I understand there's sugar in it, and that kind of defeats some of the purpose. But, the extra vitamin C, keep the kids a little bit healthier. That's what we go for. Granny Smith apples, these are for that stuffing. It calls for tart apples. And, well, you don't get much more tart than Granny Smith. And, we don't have a whole lot of selection of them out here. So that's what I got. Fresh cranberries. I debated on this. These were not originally on the list. There is a bread recipe that I saw and I thought about trying here soon. I wasn't going to because I didn't know how much it would run or if I'd even be able to find them. Well, we went to Safeway first this morning and they were fully stocked. And I got kind of excited. So I went ahead and spent the $5 on that bag. So that was another extra splurge, but it's going to be good. I'm kind of excited to make the cranberry bread and see how it turns out. Rosemary and chives. These are also for that same stuffing. So all those stuffing ingredients are going to mix and it's going to be phenomenal. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I'll probably go ahead and put up a picture of that this year. Pies. We've got pumpkin, pecan, and 2 apple. I really wanted an apple lattice pie, and we were going to buy 2, but they didn't have them out yet at Sam's. They said it would be this afternoon before they have them ready. We have no intention of going back this afternoon anywhere because it's going to be a madhouse. So we got 2 of their smaller apple pies, and then a pecan to kind of make up the difference, and then the pumpkin we plan to. The pecan is something that I really like. A couple of the kids actually got really excited when they saw that came home with us too. So hopefully the rest of the family likes it when we bring it for Christmas. Dish tabs, we buy the Cascade Complete. I am a huge fan of the citrus scents. So when they temporarily did away with them for a bit, I was so bummed and actually started trying other brands and stuff. And then they brought it back. Obviously enough people raised a stink that they found that, that citrus is kind of important. Nobody really loves the fresh scent. Maybe some people do, but we don't. Toasted marshmallow syrup. This goes in my coffee. I make a s'mores coffee that is actually really good. And, well, you kind of need marshmallow syrup for that. Sliced cheese. That's to go on the cheeseburgers for Christmas. And, yep, I said it. We're having cheeseburgers for Christmas. Spinach dip, because we're out of that. And Sean has plenty of chips left that need to be used. The red onions are actually primarily for the stuffing mix as well. And then we will use at least one of them for the burgers as well. And then, of course, the water. 3 cases for myself. And then Sean's one case of grape water that we almost forgot. And we actually had to run back to Target to get. Because he didn't remind me. He didn't put it on the list. But there it is. It actually is a really decent haul this week. So let me tell you what I spent and how that budgeting is working. So, as you guys can see, we got a lot. I was actually really prepared this week to spend our full $300 and probably tap into the $50 that was left over from last week. There were a couple of things that were originally on the list that we cut because they weren't really necessary this week, and we were going to move them to next week. Now, one thing we did not buy that was on the list was the whole chickens, and that's because we were at Sam's Club right at 7 o'clock when they opened. Let me take that back. We got there at 7:30 because we went to Target first, and they also opened at 7. But they only had 1 pack of the fryer chickens out. It's kind of a sad looking pack. And then we got to thinking about it and realizing with everything else going on this week, we have enough chicken left over. We don't need them this week. So we're going to skip them this week. And then we'll start back with the rotation for next week. So that's why you did not see those fryer chickens this week, which kind of saved us on that. I think it would have taken about the rest of our money. So we actually came in, I think it was $40 some. Well, we'll do the math here in a minute. It was around $40 was what was left over. Now, because Sean went with me and we went so early, we actually decided to stop for coffee and breakfast this morning on our way home, which took a chunk of it. So we have $16 left over from this week, which, guys, being for a holiday meal, feeding this many people plus other family members, that is phenomenal. We're still under budget. And so I still have the $50 left over from last week. I've got $16 now left over from this week. Would have been more if we didn't have breakfast, but you know what? We treated ourselves. We don't do that very often. So it was nice to do. And I don't know the last time that Sean and I went out and ate breakfast together, especially just the 2 of us. So that was pretty good. So that is our Christmas grocery haul. There's a lot of good things here. Like I said, for Christmas meal, we are actually having cheeseburgers rather than turkey, which bums me out a little bit because I like the turkey that I make. But not everybody want it. And honestly, it's going to be a lot easier. And we're trying to go for a stress-free Christmas this year with my parents, as they're trying to get some other stuff done and everything too. So stress-free was important for all of us. She's providing the meat. We're providing all the toppings. My mom is making what we call branding potatoes, which is basically a hash brown casserole. And then we are bringing the homemade stuffing and the pies. And then who knows what else there'll end up being, because I think my grandma's also joining us. And that's going to be our Christmas meal. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be doing that later on Christmas Day, and it'll be good. So considering all of that, guys, the fact that we stayed under budget, if you haven't watched that meal planning video yet, you really should go check it out. And then if anybody has any interest in it, maybe I will run through some other budgeting and stuff that we do there too, and see if that helps. It's something I did years ago with some friends, showed them how we budget and all of that. And then we actually slacked off a little bit. So I've had to get myself back into that habit and give myself that lesson that I gave others a long time ago. So if you want that, leave that down in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I hope you are having a blessed day. I hope you are having an incredible holiday season and that you have a very Merry Christmas. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything coming up next. And I will see you in the next one.